Hello, my name is Max Kalehoff and I am the VP of Marketing at Realeyes. We are a motion AI and computer vision leader, and it is an honor to be here with you today to present the high price of low quality creative. And specifically, we're delighted to share with you a breakthrough ROI model for attention impact. Before we dive in, I want to underscore that everything we're going to talk about is detailed in a guide on our website called realeyes.com/resources. That's the URL, and you can access the guide with all the technical specs, and it has a lot of useful information in it that you can use to apply to your business right away. So if you're intrigued with what you hear today, please check it out. So, key question, can we save $20 million on a $100 million ad budget in video? And the answer is definitively yes. And it all comes around the creative of your video. So on the left is our partner Soren at Mars, who underscores that format choices and frequency increases will not get you the same returns as a great ad. On the right is a study from Nielsen Catalina, which underscores that across 500 campaigns they looked at, creative was by far the dominant influence on sales outcomes at roughly half. And so in this age of great media hygiene, where the industry is over-indexing on hyper-targeting, viewability, and fraud prevention, which are all important. However, none of those things matter if your creative performance is failing. So here we have the hierarchy of outcomes for ad effectiveness. Everything starts with attention. When you buy media, you access attention, and then it's up to your creative to earn attention, to enable your brand to enter consciousness. And then comes emotion. Emotion is what controls attention, memory, and behavior, and is the prerequisite to impact, such as sales, consideration, conversions, awareness. And that's why at Realeyes, we've innovated over several years on a discipline called facial coding, where we use emotion AI and machine learning and front-facing cameras on any device in the world for opt-in consumers to measure their response to video content and interactive experiences. So it's very natural and leads to great truth about what is the true human response around commercial messaging. And we've applied that into a reliable and sustainable predictive model for attention performance. And it all starts with the forced exposure test of the creative, which derives key attention measures, behavioral, observational measures, which then leads to the application of predictive analytics based on real-world outcomes, such as viewability, such as video completion rates, such as likelihood to find an ad interesting. So real outcomes, which then leads to delivering greater results on your advertising, such as a more attentive audience, lower cost, higher impact, and more intelligence that nets from your campaigns. And all of this is a continuous machine learning model. It always gets smarter. And so here we have the attention model for managing ad creative performance. So if you think of an advertiser accessing audience attention through a CPM, through media, it is then up to the creative to capture attention, retain audience attentiveness, and then encode the brand in the brain by driving response through emotion. And we can use those measures to derive an ad quality score. And it's the combination of those elements in the ad quality score which can determine and predict in-market performance. And those inputs become a lead-in to an ROI model. And that's what we're going to look at. So here's an example of a digital ad, which I'll show. It's a 6-second. So very quick ad built presumably for digital. And this ad had a quality score of 9 out of 10, so very high performer. It captured, its capture score was 6 seconds, so it held attention without distraction for its duration. It retained 52% of audience attention at the end of the ad, and it achieved an encoding score of 85 out of 100, and that is the presence of emotional peaks and valleys, the brand entering the consciousness. And what we did was we applied the audience retention second by second to compute an economic value of each second of attentiveness based on a nominal CPM of $10. And that's what we are looking at right now, is a second by second cost of an attentive audience for 1,000 impressions. Then what we did is we looked at the capture score, and we rewarded economic value to this creative for its ability for every second of holding attention without average distraction of the whole audience. And then finally, we applied economic reward or punishment, in this case reward, because it was very effective at driving emotion response, peaks and valleys. And based off of those economic values, we essentially can sum them for a total quality CPM of $9.60 off of a quality score of 9 and a nominal CPM of 10. So the beauty of this is that quality score predicts the actual effective cost of quality attentive media. Now, if we were to apply this to a portfolio of ads, we can start to think of creative managed like a financial portfolio. We can cut the poor ads of scores 1 to 3. We can edit the average ads or cut the average ads, and we can select and activate the great ads. And we did this with a collection of 51 ads and resulted with, amidst a $2.5 million budget, we had a 29% exposure lift, a 925,000 incremental value. And then we had a 9x ROI on the incremental value versus the cost of the intelligence. And so it's logical, and it makes a lot of sense, and is a framework that can be repeated at scale across an enterprise, across a whole portfolio of ads. And then, so that really sums up the attention model. And to sort of conclude, I want to underscore that doing this results in faster, confident ad decisions, of course, lower CPM and ROI, and then better enterprise performance, because you're providing common metrics, a common language, and incentive for media and creative to work together for greater attention outcomes. And so to leave you with one final thought, attention in advertising is your best path to sales. And if you have any comments, any feedback about this model, or would like to talk about it further, I'll leave my email here, and I'll also be available later to respond to any questions. And of course, again, the link to the guide where you can access the technical specs of the model is available here as well. With that, thank you. With love, I'm Max Kalehoff, and I look forward to any feedback and to connecting with several of you later on.